A million years ago, it was 2015. Young Priya sat in her bed at boarding school and drank a ridiculous amount of coffee, stressing out about whether she was going to get into college. Her roommate worried for her sanity and also wondered how Priya could drink so much coffee after 6 p.m. and fall asleep. Fast forwarding through that entire story, Priya ended up getting into schools that she was very excited about, and she ended up going to the University of Chicago. I'm Priya. I went to boarding school. It was hard, but then I got into Chicago. Did you notice the difference between those two introductions? One was leading you into a story and it was kind of fun to listen to. Then the other one was straightforward and it was boring, just factual. The second one was a mistake, but don't fret, I will not let you guys make that mistake, or for that matter, any mistake, because I'm here to tell you the things that you have to avoid when you're writing your college essay. And I'll even tell you what you can do instead. Hey guys, I'm Priya and I'm here to help you get into college. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn about all of the possible college essay mistakes. There are so many, and I'm very excited to help all of you guys. So if you're new to my channel, definitely check out my other videos and hit the subscribe button because I'm very, very new to YouTube and I've only been doing this for a month and a half. So all of your support means a lot to me. If you have any questions for me, shoot me a comment down below. My intro is linked above and let's get straight into it. The first mistake is that you're not telling them a story. Your essay is about storytelling. It has to be about storytelling, especially when they're reading thousands of other essays. It's so many applications and you have to be really unique if you want them to remember you. So I want you to think of yourself as the main character in your story. Invite them into your life, no matter how boring or how uneventful you think that your life is. Trust me, it is not. No one has your story. No one has experienced all of the things that you've experienced. And I know it may not seem like that, but you can easily craft a very unique narrative from all of your experiences. You really need to showcase that unique story, especially in the introduction. I always recommend starting your introduction with an anecdote because that anecdote is always going to be super unique to you. You want it to be personal and you want the reader to be interested in you and end up reading your entire essay and remembering it. The second biggest mistake that people make in their college essay is listing things out that are already in your application. They know your GPA, they know your test scores, and they know your activities. Please do not list it out. Don't use your precious essay space to list out things that they already know. This is your chance to tell them something unique about you, something out of the box, something that no one else can tell them, and probably something no one else is writing an essay about. I know you want to tell them everything you've ever done and emphasize how much you've done throughout your high school career, but trust me, they'll see that in your profile elsewhere. Your essay is to show them how great you are at storytelling. My essay was about cricket, which was my favorite sport ever since I moved to India in the 7th grade. And I applied to colleges to be an astrophysics major. Like, that has nothing to do with cricket, but my essay showed them what I truly cared about, something that they really would never have known about me. And I used that to put together a story about how that one sport brought together all of the masses in India, from the rich to the poor, in the stadium to the household. You can find my essay in my video linked above, where I read all of the essays that got me into UChicago, Berkeley, UCLA, and Georgia Tech. But my main point is that you want to create a story that is unique, where you're not listing out everything you've done because they're not going to remember it, especially since they're reading thousands of essays. But when you pick one or two unique moments, something that's very unique to your life and important to your life, and you really go in depth, you have 650 words about that one moment that was so special to you, that's something that's going to tug at their heartstrings and they're going to remember it. So don't try to list everything you've ever done. The third biggest mistake, and this is probably something I'd say like 70% of the people do, they have a very vague essay. It isn't a story, it's pretty much a boring essay that's pretty unmemorable. It's something that anyone else can replicate. You wouldn't be able to tell that it was someone's unique story because it was just a regular boring essay. You don't want it to be vague, you want them to know your point. You want the intro to hook them in, and your last sentence of the introduction needs to be the entire topic of the essay. Like, it has to just be there, kind of not in plain sight, but you need to mention it there because you don't want something vague. You want them to know exactly what the topic is. And I know sometimes you want the topic to just be you, like you're the glue that puts the essay together. But if you're the only topic, like it might not be memorable enough. You need something that really like draws them in and then relate that to you and what you care about. Like my cricket essay was about cricket and how it meant so much to me and how I viewed the world through it. I didn't directly talk about myself. I talked about that sport and I talked about my experiences with it and what I noticed and what I thought, how I felt. And that's what they want. They want something that's a story, something where you don't have to be straightforward, but they know what you mean. Like everything is implied. And that can't come through a vague essay, you know? So make sure your essay isn't vague and make sure you have a great essay topic because that's what's gonna draw them in. I have a video about how to find the perfect essay topic for you, so check it out if you're having some trouble. The fourth mistake is in the same vein as the last one. It's a reproducible essay. Don't have a reproducible essay. Don't read someone else's essay and try to make it your own. Don't do it. Like you have to have your own story, something that no one else has, because if you have an essay that, you know, a million other people are probably writing about, something that's vague, that's general, where you're just listing out random things, it's not gonna work. Especially if you're applying to those top schools. Those top schools really care about your essays because everyone has a perfect GPA and everyone has a perfect test score. So they want someone with the perfect personality for that school. And this is how you show them your personality. So don't make it something that doesn't highlight your personality, because if it's a reproducible essay, I don't think it would be a great representation of you because you're a unique individual and you are better than that. The last mistake that I'm going to talk about today, the fifth point, is writing a traditional essay. So all throughout high school, we're taught that an essay has an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. And I'm not saying that your introduction doesn't matter for your college essay. It is very, very important, but you don't have to have that traditional essay flow. That is boring. That is not a story. Your introduction can be 2 paragraphs. It could be 1 paragraph. It could be a sentence. It could be whatever you want. And your body paragraphs just need to represent the topic of your essay, what you mention in the last sentence of your introduction in all of your body paragraphs. And creating a traditional essay is boring. Again, it falls into reproducible. It falls into unmemorable, like the category of being unmemorable, and you don't want that. So don't worry about trying to structure your essay in a traditional sense. Just make sure that your introduction really sucks them in, and at the end you give them almost like an outline of what your essay is going to be about, like the topic of your essay. For my essay, the last sentence of my intro, I told them that I was in a cricket stadium. All before that, I was just drawing them in and they didn't know where I was, and I seemed apprehensive, and then they find out I'm in a cricket stadium. So it's obvious that that's the future of my essay. That's where my essay is headed. Don't worry about making it traditional. Make it your own story. So that's it for the biggest college essay mistakes. If you guys do want to see my college essays, if you click the button above, you can find the essays that got me into the colleges that I got into, which I mentioned earlier in the video. So definitely check it out. If you're just looking for some inspiration, it's always good to hear the different kinds of ways you can write your essay, because everyone has a very unique style. And honestly, it's funny because that unique style usually is representative of what kind of college you get into, because U Chicago has the weirdest essay topics. Like some of the essay topics were like, of the past years, they had Where's Waldo, they had Find X, and the prompt for my essay was why are you here and not anywhere else? And you had to pick the here. So my here was the cricket stadium. So it was a very quirky school. It was a very quirky experience just applying. I love that and I fit in, and that's how I write my essays. So it worked perfectly for me. So inspiration is always great. People write very differently. So find what works for you. I'm also gonna link a great resource I found just like earlier this week on TikTok. Oh, also I have a TikTok, so definitely find me on TikTok. I have short videos on there where I talk about things that will help you get into college. But I found this on TikTok, but Johns Hopkins has a resource called Johns Hopkins Essays That Worked, where those are the essays that, you know, people got in with. So you're gonna find so many different kinds of perspectives in it. Check that out as well. Read as many essays as you can get your hands on. Hear as many essays as you can on YouTube. It's all gonna help you get into college. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button for that YouTube algorithm, and I will see you guys at the next video. Don't forget to comment if you have any video suggestions because I will make it. Thank you. Bye.